My camera isn't there. Give me one sec. There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another stream, Tinfoil Saturday. How's everyone doing? Hope you're doing well. We are doing Costume Month, for those who don't know. You guys helped me raise $1,000. So, we're doing 30 days of costumes. Y'all picked Cat Maid today, because of course you did. So let's get off this screen so I'm slightly less embarrassed. Great. Back in the corner where I belong. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Hope it's going well. Today we're looking at all sorts of tinfoil stuff. I further tweaked this stuff, so hopefully it's running well. I switched over to a new browser because Chrome was not working with the new computer for whatever reason during stream. Seems to be running beautifully now on a new internet thing browser. So, yeah, that's it. We're gonna hang out and watch Tinfoil today. We are gonna play bingo, so feel free to get your bingo cards ready if you'd like. And, that's it. Hold on, let me zoom in a little on this thing. Okay, cool beans. Let's get into it. Chris, I guess? Chris? Is it at least cooler today? Much cooler, and this is a very cool outfit. The onesies were making me sweat. This is fine. This I'm very comfortable in. It does have like a Halloween costume texture that, you know, against the skin isn't the best, but like it's fine. I'm not like sweating, it's good. Plus cleavage, which is always nice. Ultimate Undying says, hey Hannah, progress on the game. Also, may the 4th be with you. Thank you. I wondered who'd be the first person to wish me it. Nice. Keeping that aesthetic, I see. Very nice. All right, Westchester County. Let's see what's going on, shall we? I think we are caught up. Cool. Uh-oh, is this web browser going to decide not to work suddenly, too, now that I'm on stream? That'd be funny.
All right, good
Okay, now maybe it is working now.
morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. 4-6. 24. Okay. All right.
The boob window is a cat face. I'm surprised you hadn't noticed before.
Here, I just want to brush by you.
Is that loud enough? Again, it's doing it again. What the hell? Is it? I literally don't have... What would I have on that's like a thing? There we go. Maybe that. I accidentally did have uBlock Origin on that time.
All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
For some reason, Microsoft Edge is the only browser that seems to want to work during stream for me, which is really, really, really unfortunate. Bumble Homestead says, does he use huge amounts of hair gel or does he just have glorious volume? Probably both. We've talked about how nice his hair is before. Hold on. Why is it like this? Okay, apparently I have to port everything over to a third browser tomorrow, because I give up on that one now too. Great. Pull up Edge, and this address. Is this all intentional just so Microsoft gets me to use their dog shit browser? Because that's the vibe I get, is that I'm being punked. Alright, I'm switching it. There you go. Good enough, I guess. I'm on Opera. Opera's the one I was using today. Opera still fucking did the thing.
Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County.
I tried Chrome and Opera. Those were the ones I used that didn't work.
Uh, 4-6. 24. Okay. All right. Couple things here. I just want to brush by you. You know, sorry.
Being quiet.
wasn't able to do a Think About It Friday, but let's do it on a Saturday. Why not? Okay, and here we have a couple of questions. Yes, we do, as a Flat Earth person here. See, we have a problem that there is no camera on the moon.
Is this a problem? There's no camera on the moon? This is what we're doing today, Chris? You want to fight?
Okay. Apparently we landed on the moon in 1969. Okay, and there's no camera on there. You know, yet Voyager 1 is sending amazing information. And actually video. Well, pictures or something.
There was a camera, but the batteries ran out. Yeah, we've had cameras on the moon before when people have been there. But, like, we haven't been to the moon since, oh boy, the 70s? So it's not like they were thinking at the time, oh, let's put a camera up there for a live stream, because live streams didn't exist. There wasn't really a purpose for putting a camera on the moon in the 70s, Chris, when no one is there to do stuff with it or upkeep it. Next time we go to the moon, yeah, maybe they'll do that. Won't make the moon any more or less landed on.
From all the way out in outer space. Isn't that amazing? But yet we couldn't plant a camera on the moon.
It's not a can't, it's a didn't. You could put a camera there. You could do it. We had one there. It's still there, I guess, actually. It's just not being used for anything.
Down. Or up. Or wherever it may be. Doesn't make a difference. To look at Earth. It would be great for the weatherman, wouldn't it? I would think.
Chris thinks that being a weatherman is literally looking outside and looking at the weather. Chris, you don't visually just look at the Earth and know the weather. Barometric pressure is a thing. For the love of God, read any book. Read a single book.
For hurricanes? To save us all. But yet, there is nothing.
Is Chris aware that we're able and do predict hurricanes long before they are visible? That's literally meteorology, is looking at things that are not, you know, your eyeballs going, is it raining out?
Nothing but bullshit. Nothing. Okay, lottery. Take a look at it. It's up to, what is it, $1.2 billion now. Okay. Why don't we have a camera on the lottery machines? You know, the balls that are rolling around? You know,
they explicitly do film the balls when they do the lottery drawings. What are you talking about? Like, expressly they do that. That's a big part of it, is they do the drawing live and you see the balls.
And they actually do the thing, which is actually going to happen in about an hour and 15 minutes.
Did I win? I didn't buy a ticket. That might be a hindrance.
Why isn't there any cameras on that?
There are. They film it. Chris, they film the lottery drawing. They film it. What are you talking about?
What the hell is going on? And monitoring who's touching those balls. Sorry, I didn't mean for it to come out that way.
He did. That time he absolutely did, for sure.
That's great. But, I mean, really, think about it. But, I mean, really, think about it. Those balls should not be touched at all. They should be in a container.
They are.
For years. But all you get is this bullshit with, I don't know what her name is. I have no idea because I don't watch it. But, I mean, you know, this woman who comes up, I'm sure it's going to be a woman that's going to, you know, call all the numbers that come up there. But who's in control of the balls?
The machine? The machine's in control of the balls.
Okay. Why
physics.
is there not a camera on that 24 hours a day to moderate it? There's nobody.
Because as long as the machine works and the balls are fine, how do you think the lottery machines work? We've had decades and decades of this to develop machines that are trying to be tamper-proof.
Goes up.
I don't know why he's focused on the lottery anyway, but he seems to be very, very, very invested in this.
Numbers come up. You have no idea. There should be a live feed on that canister with all the numbers, with all the containers that contain these balls. And it should be monitored. Okay, all right, thank you for subbing. Thank you for viewing my videos and maybe a part of your life.
Well, that was certainly something. Oh, is it free comic book day? Damn. I didn't remember. I didn't go down to the comic book
From the first
store.
time George...
What are we gonna watch next? You know what? Let's do this. For whatever reason, I am still obsessed with Diamond and Silk. Sans Diamond. So let's take a look at another interview with one of the January 6th people. Or at the very least, it's a discussion, I'm sorry, about January 6th people. Wow. But the first 10 minutes of this are an ad. They always are. Ugh.
Wow. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Diamond and Silk Chit Chat Live. Yes, I'm your host, Silk, and you are my co-host, my Diamond Dream Team. And as Diamond would always say, it takes a team to build a dream. So I want you to stop what you're doing right now. Be sure to like and share this broadcast and this podcast. Like it and share it. Share it everywhere. And let them know that Silk is on the air. Listen, don't forget to download the Frank Speech app, the Frank Social app. Is 2 different apps and it's absolutely free.
The first 10 minutes are seriously going to be ads, so I'm just going to skip through the ads.
For you to lose weight. So that's vitamin
spirits that cease to destroy America out of it. Yes, yes, yes. So you all, I just want to put that out there.
Wow, it was only 8 minutes that time. That's quicker than usual.
That they say that today is National Day of Prayer. Okay, I'm acknowledging it, but every day I pray at 11:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I pray all that day. I just continue to keep a prayer in me, all right, in my heart, okay, because this country really, really, truly needs it. All right, you all, I want to go ahead on and bring on my J6 panel, okay? So here to talk about her son.
I don't know why 11:21.
And her name
Maybe
is
the time her sister died or something. I genuinely didn't
Barbara
know.
Turpin. And we have, is it Suzanne? We have Suzanne Monk on. So please welcome them to the show. Hello, darling. Hey, how you doing?
Good.
This does not fit right since I lost weight.
Barbara's camera worked
Jesus.
out and everything. So
okay. When they get it worked out, we'll get her on. So thank you so much, Suzanne.
Penekagami says, please chat, help me save Mike Lindell's failing app so he can pay his legal fees.
For being
I don't think I will.
On the show. Now, I understand.
What's the occasion for the cat maid outfit? Costume month. We are doing a month of costumes, 30 days in a row. This is day 3, I believe.
And you are a J6 activist. So please let the audience know what it is you do. Go ahead.
Yeah, an activist. I've actually been working as a J6 activist since January 7th of 2021. I was the activist that managed to get 4 members of Congress to go over the DC gulag back that year. I have actually...
As much as I like Frosties, Wendy has really gone downhill lately.
presented to all 535 members of Congress a copy of the American Gulag Chronicles, opening them up to the facts.
The American Gulag Chronicles. Oh, is this about Guantanamo Bay? Oh, no. You just mean random white people that you don't think should be in jail despite trying sedition.
It's about our defendants, about these J6 prisoners that are being abused. And currently, Silk, what I'm working on this year is the J6 Pardon Project. I am writing a book for one man, and that man is Donald J. Trump. And the book is called How to Pardon the J6ers, a comprehensive guide for President.
The bingo link not working? What the hell? There it is.
Donald J. Trump. And it is a book that will have a full...
Oh shit, Ellen! Thank you for the raid! We got a huge raid from Ellen from now on. Thank you so much. Hope your stream went well. Hi everyone, I'm Hannah. My pronouns are she, her. I am a leftist variety streamer. Today we are taking a look at conspiracy theories and conspiracy theorists. I take a look at this stuff and talk about it from why people believe them, what they believe, the implications of them. It's all a lot of fun. It's also costume month, and my Discord is picking a different costume every day out of my trunk of costumes. Thus this number. So forgive me for that. Welcome. Give me a follow if you like what you see. And make sure my viewers go and check out Ellen from now on here on Twitch, please.
Comprehensive strategy that makes sure every single January 6th or...
Have I encountered Brian Rose? Possibly? I'd have to look up. I'm not good with, like, faces and name connections.
Whatever situation they're in. Either
so it's possible. What's their deal? Do they have a specific thing?
Pre-trial, mid-trial, in the middle of their appeals, post-sentencing, the folks we have lost.
This is someone who is trying to defend the January 6th people. He's writing a book for Donald Trump to pardon them.
Unfortunately, and are no longer with us. Each and every defendant in every situation, we are making sure that all of those loopholes that the DOJ has tried to set up, President Trump will have a strategy to address that. We will be presenting him with that book as well as a database of every single January 6th defendant.
Wow.
So he has all of the information long before day one, Silk, to make sure that he can do the job.
Is she aware that, like, he was still president after that? He could have pardoned them before he left, and he chose not to. He might have just been salty they didn't succeed. I don't know. But, like, I don't think he really gives a shit unless it's something that he thinks is politically advantageous to himself.
That's
Sorry, H-Baird. H-Baird said Wendy's has gone downhill because only 8 homosexuals are there. If there were more, they'd be doing fine. Yeah, that's a previous person we watched who's a chud, who's like a right-wing homophobe, once got mad because there were, quote, 8 homosexuals in a Wendy's. I like Wendy's, so I get it, but...
absolutely necessary for this country and undo the weaponization of justice that has been happening to these January 6th defendants.
And every one of them need to be made whole. Every single one of them, okay? And for the ones that's passed on their family, they need to be made whole with interest, okay?
Correct.
Because, you know, I happen to be sitting there, you know, I'm a human being. I look on social media. I look at the TV every now and then, and I see everything that's going on. I see what they call out here. They call it a protest, but I see rioting going on out here. That's what I see happening, all right? Paid rioters, paid protesters out here destroying property, beating out windows.
Property is the most important thing to these people for some reason. The Wendy's was broken into. The horror. Won't someone think of the capital expense?
I mean, I see exactly what's going on. And they want to sit back and compare J6 to 9/11. Well, what?
Oh, that follower thing has been going for a while. That's just stuck on a loop, isn't it? Let me fix that. There we go.
The hell do you compare this to? All right?
Correct.
With everything that I see going on.
Well, and the
right
same we
today.
saw with the Summer of Love, the same we saw throughout 2020. I live right here in DC. We had 70 straight days of riots where the police officers were assaulted. They were burning cars, destroying businesses. police attacked night after night after night. They were on overtime. Muriel Bowser destroyed this police department through the Summer of Love by the work that she required because she would not let them. We see this in the campuses all over. We saw it on J6. They will not let them secure these facilities. The National Guard.
What the fuck? Amber Pretzel says that 8 homosexuals in a Wendy's sounds like a great McDonald's Ram Ranch Guy parody song. Oh, Jesus. Ram Ranch. There's also a juggle command. I can do that. I can get that to work.
Had they been called in, as President Trump offered them multiple times, that entire event would have been kept peaceful. Capitol Police would have never fired on innocent protesters.
Oh my God, she wasn't innocent!
Would have just been another day in history. It would not be J6.
Ashley Babbitt was shot because she was threateningly approaching a member of Congress after being told repeatedly by Secret Service to stop, and she was actively crawling through a broken window to get to a member of Congress. Do not defend Ashley Babbitt, you psycho! What are you doing?
And we see the same thing in college campuses. The cops standing down until it's so escalated, they've got to crawl in through windows.
But Suzanne, that was the setup, baby.
I'm going to say no to the Black's Law Dictionary request just because I don't want to deal with looking it up right now.
That was the setup from the Get Up,
Save it.
okay? That was the plan from the Get Up. These people was entrapped.
Get go, not get up.
All right? That's what they did. They entrapped American citizens.
That's not what entrapment means.
What they did. Now, the other night
Okay, I'm already tired of listening to this shit show of excuses, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next thing, because holy crap. Oh, you want to hear a really obnoxious, like, song that talks down to you because you're not a nutbag conspiracy theorist?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, explain the costume.
No, you don't care what they're gonna do. You don't like worrying about things that are bigger than you.
Yes, that's the problem. I'm too worried about things like climate change and whether or not people can pay their bills. I should be concerned about real things like people who eat the blood of children to sustain their everlasting evil satanic pact with the real literal devil that you believe in. That makes sense.
While your husband and children are sent off to war, you hang up your flag, miss, don't ask much more. You think your side is winning, but you don't know the score.
Is this song directed at women? Made it sound like it was directed at women by the your husbands and children sent off to war.
There aren't peace in the East, we are the best in the West. We don't reason very well wearing bulletproof vests. It ain't money that's power, it's knowledge that's king. Better open your eyes, sir, they ain't the same thing. You don't have either, and that's why you're down. That ain't never gonna change while your head's in the ground. They don't want you going anywhere except 6 feet underground. I believe in those dog-lying wolves on the screen, whose words you believe in, whose pockets are green. While you're green with envy, you guess it's okay, long as everybody else is getting stepped on the same way. You think you have freedom, but you'll wake up someday. So they tax you and drug you and work you to death. They defeat you and cheat you until your last breath. Then they poison your body and waste all your time. Then they pull on your strings, but it's all in your mind. You think you make choices, but you're just last in line. They'll be churching you, schooling you, ruling you through, selling you, telling you
It's literally a political coalition of people who just never got out of the I don't wanna stage of childhood. Isn't this frustrating? Like when you grow up and then there are people who don't, and then you gotta be like, hey, stop behaving like a 6-year-old, and they just won't, and they think they're badass for doing so. I don't know, it's frustrating.
You confuse you and use you each day. Then they paralyze you, sterilize you, that's how they play. And you trust them, you lust them, you do anything they say. Then they make you their pet, cause you signed your name away.
Some people are into that, so you know.
Think you have freedom, but you'll wake up someday, but still you play. Yes, you think you have freedom, but you'll wake up someday. There's just no way. You think you have freedom, but you'll wake up someday.
No, obviously wokeness is bad. They want you to wake up. That's different than being woke. Tenses are hard. Alright. I am going to use the bathroom briefly, so everyone remain calm. While I am gone, Boxy will talk to you about something important. How about Andor? Boxy will tell you about Andor. I'll be right back. Grape, thanks for following. That's gonna probably repeat till I'm back, sorry. Lady Curious Cat, thanks for the follow. Why does the alert box just keep repeating? For those from the raid, I changed my setup recently, so stuff's new. So things are a little glitchy. So Chair tells you Boxy is a dominatrix. When did that happen? Quite a while ago, but it's their private lives. I don't like to get into it. When I'm not working, I just hear moans coming from this room, and I don't want to intrude, so... Proto the Dweeb, thanks for a 7-stream streak, says, God, Andor was so good. Narkina was one of the best set pieces Star Wars has done to date. Love my handsome anarcho-terrorist. I still haven't seen it. Someone sent me that. Have I tried turning it off and on again? I actually did, but it keeps doing it. Okay, let's watch Hans look at animals that are real for once. People from the raid, this is going to be confusing for you probably a little bit. There's a person I watch pretty regularly called Hans Wormhat, and his whole deal is he doesn't think most animals are real. So let me give you an example, so you know where we're drawing from in terms of his beliefs. Yes, he's real. He's not satire. I've checked, I assure you.
Hans Wormhat.
Every time I show people this, they're like, you're falling for a Poe. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I've been doing this for years. I promise you, he's real. He really is this. Gitara says, speaking of tinfoil, have you seen the kind of stuff Newsmax puts out lately? I saw some titles of the programs they're running, and I think I'm going to lose my mind. Just today I saw Woke America. The left is on a campaign to transform America forever. Common sense and traditional values are being trampled. This kind of news being on every bare bones cable network terrifies me. I mean, it's basically just ramped up Fox. Let me see some of the other stuff. Chicken Bit says if they don't get pronouns, why do they think they'd get tenses? True. And Dillis Filler said, some of the best speeches, we will fight them on the beaches. I have a dream, 7 years ago, and I don't wanna.
Send this video to people who believe in penguins. And I'm talking about the tuxedo wearing, living at the alleged South Pole.
He's a flat earther.
March of the Penguins type penguin. There is a type of aquatic bird, and it's black and white splotched. It doesn't look like it's wearing a tuxedo, but a memory that sticks with me from childhood is going to see the penguins at the zoo. And I was just very underwhelmed because in your mind as a child, you think, oh, emperor penguins, these big, bright orange, what do you know? These big penguins with bright orange on them. And you get to the penguin exhibit and no, it's these little black and white splotched aquatic birds. And I remember thinking, what, this isn't a penguin. That's what I remember.
So anyway, he doesn't believe a lot of animals are real. So as a change of pace, he did a video today, or a video 2 days ago that says, look at real animals with me. So this will be nice. We get to hang out with Hans and it won't be brain devouring, hopefully. Why are the ones in chat? I am so confused.
Today's video is highly requested. We're going to be looking at some real animals, and right here you see a super cute sea otter, and it's being trained. That's what the stick is. It was feeding time, so we got to see the sea otters get some food. They were pretty cute.
One means you believe in penguins? Oh.
And
goddamn sheeple.
Yeah, this is going
Pengueeple.
to be a really lighthearted video, just looking at some cute animal pictures of real animals. I have some videos at the end, so stick around. Oh, look at them having breakfast.
The only cute black and white thing you're allowed to think is real is me, chat.
Here's a blind seal. A lot of their seals, if not all of them, were injured in some way or unable to be...
I'm so curious why he determines some animals to be real and some not. It's entirely vibes-based, I gotta assume. Vibes-based conspiracy on the bingo card.
You know, let out in the ocean. And that's pretty common with these sorts of places. This is a pretty small-time aquarium. I've been to the Monterey Bay Aquarium before. It's huge and pretty impressive. This is just more small-timey. And it's kind of fascinating. You know, it shows you the difference between man and beast, that humans can build enclosures to have animals living, you know, more or less a nice life in, and
more or less
that we can look up close and study them. And you don't see dolphins building enclosures and putting one of all the different sea creatures in them and charging money to have other dolphins come.
If dolphins develop some sort of commerce, I think they'd have probably better things to do than a zoo. But what do I know? I'm not a dolphin person. You can't, if he talked about his parenting Demibird, yes, but not just because he's on screen.
There's clearly a difference, and it just reminds me of what the Bible says about man having dominion over animals.
Ancient wisdom on the bingo card.
The way
we play tinfoil bingo for the Raiders, and the first winner gets a free gift sub.
What I noticed today about the seals, it was just really interesting how their tail has like two different parts. It's like two fins, and it was alternating, and just watching the feet act exactly like a diver's fin was so interesting. Starfish aren't fish, so I usually say sea star these days.
Gotta
Really
be real
cool.
specific.
Here was a scuba diver cleaning out a tank. They had a bird exhibit. This is something that some people actually have left comments saying that puffins are not real. They're real. I have a video.
Wait, is he... He's Of course he has opinions that differ from other people on this, but it's wild to me the tone with which he just said puffins are real, like you're a fucking idiot if you think puffins are fake. Hans, you literally think chimpanzees are people in fursuits. What are you talking about? You don't get to make fun of the puffin truthers, you fucking asshole.
Video of puffins swimming at the end. Of course, I've made many videos on penguins being fake. I don't say that every type of penguin is fake, just emperor penguins in particular.
God, guys, get it right. What do you think, he's some kind of loon? Loons aren't real, by the way.
And there's some other fake penguins too, but puffins are penguin-like, and they are real. It's almost like halfway between a penguin and a duck. The puffins. This was cute. They were cleaning each other.
Staggering levels of hypocrisy on the bingo card, absolutely.
Bean pair.
He's selectively delusional. Everyone who's delusional is. Most people aren't delusional about absolutely every single thing. It's usually selective. God, I need to get a new one of these. This one does not fit right since I lost weight.
This guy was chill. He was just sitting by himself in front of the sign that says "Who's Who." I thought it was kind of fun. It's like, who's who in the aviary? I don't know, but this guy, he's...
Hans is a terrible person who believes really terrible things. And I'm not talking about the animal stuff. He believes other conspiracy theories that are not good. But isn't it a little cute just hearing him be like, oh, look at this little guy. Look at this little guy. It's a shame all the other things he believes.
He's famous. Some more puffins. Some more sea stars. This was kind of a cool area that was like a tide zone. They had these big artificial waves come in. And there were also the sea anemones. Look at this cool guy.
That's a good photo, actually. Did he take that? That's a pretty good picture. Put that on the Aquarium Zoo website.
Aquariums are really cool. It's a lot of work, though. I actually grew up with an aquarium in like a small, very small freshwater aquarium. But they're pretty neat. Getting to see the fish up close and personal.
Maybe, Baja. I know you're, like, probably tired, though.
Fish and fishing are a big part of the Bible.
If you are offering, it might be nice.
This was a cool part. A cool, I don't know, exhibit, you might call it. They literally stamp the fish. Like, ink up the fish and stamp them. Really cool. I didn't get a great picture of this guy, but I liked his attitude.
Adorable.
Really pretty colors. Oh. Really, really pretty colors. Wait, where was I? God created the animals and the plants, saw that it was good. A lot of people, when I call out fake animals, they try to call me out, say I'm denying God's creation when I say that pandas are fursuits or great apes are fursuits. So maybe I should spend some more time.
Humans are great apes, by the way.
I'm appreciating the real, beautiful creations of God.
Alright. Let's watch one of his more recent, actual conspiracy video. This is probably going to be bad.
Today's video is a short lamentations of sorts, and I've recently been away from home for a little bit for a wedding, and just get to thinking about how, would this be a nicer time? Would I enjoy myself more if I was back the way I used to be, completely ignorant of transvestigation related hidden knowledge?
Hans is of the opinion that almost everyone on Earth is secretly trans except for him and his wife. And presumably their kids, because they have kids and he homeschools them.
But of course, it's one of those things where once you know
It's true, the joke's on me, Baha. I think I'm tricking everyone in my human suit, and everyone's really a lizard.
truth,
Lizards all the way down.
you can't ever turn it off. And I think that I am so much better knowing the truth. My life was just so... There were so many unanswered questions and things that didn't make sense to me that now make more sense. But life is just sadder and harder in a lot of ways when you know the truth. Especially about transvestigation. And this is such a huge topic that it's hard to talk about it because it's
Yes, and he thinks a lot of trans people are secretly cis. Basically, whatever you actually are, he thinks it's the opposite because he thinks everyone's lying to him all the time.
everywhere, and it has to do with everything. And that's the sad part. The sad part is that these people could have done something great. They could have made a good society. They could help people. But no, instead they just want to play mind games with people and set up this false fake it till you make it reality that's built on lies and deception and glamour magic. And it's just like, it's hard to find problems in this world that couldn't be solved by...
Glamour magic is magic in fiction, in folk tales, or D&D, I guess. I don't know. You know, it's a fictional concept that it's magic specifically for hiding your identity, for making you to appear different than you normally do. Illusion magic to make yourself look a certain way, or to cast an illusion. So this is again referencing his belief that people are secretly trans and hiding it from him.
Replacing some inverted people with people that have morals and don't love the lie. And yeah, so the wedding, you know, just what makes me think of this is you start to see the class. You start to see the classism that is everywhere, transcends, classism that transcends anything else. Every country has the same thing going on where...
Accidentally based on the bingo card? For pointing out classism as a root of many of the world's problems?
The highest class females...
Oh, never mind. He almost had me. He had me going for a second. I really thought for a second he was gonna be based about, like, economic injustice. Nope. Just sexist. Never mind. My bad. That's on me for trusting him for even half a second. That's why I transitioned. I wanted to be part of the higher class. I feel real classy.
Are actually dudes, like Taylor Swift here. And so you're at the wedding and you can't, you're not asleep anymore, so they stick out like a sore thumb, like, whoa, look at the skull on that one. And then it makes you...
Oh good, we're doing phrenology.
Feel kind of bad, like, hey, I feel kind of bad even noticing that. Like, that's the part of me that's like, oh, wouldn't that be nice if you could just turn it off for a while? But you can't help it. You're like, look at the massive skull on that one, and then notice how they're trying to use glamour magic to still be appealing. And then you think of all the world stage is constructed in a way to elevate certain types of people into being desirable. And then you see Martins with wives drooling over the doodliest person at the wedding, and you feel like you're taking crazy pills. Honk honk, welcome to Clown World. And wouldn't life just be better if everybody knew the truth? And
It's
that's
so interesting to me that even within the framework of him understanding that his beliefs are hurting him, it's not that he doesn't want these things to be true, because it's motivated reasoning. He wants them to be true, presumably for some psychological reason. This is giving him some sort of utility. I don't know what it is. We've talked about how insecure Hans comes across when he talks about his own body and gender identity. And I don't know what specifically this does, but it apparently gives him something psychologically that he needs. Because I don't know why else he would believe it. And in fairness, people can just malfunction. Not everything needs to have a proper utility, I guess, mentally. But it feels like he's holding on to this so hard, it must tell him something he desperately wants to believe about the world.
that's something I really believe in. I think that there were time periods, when they talk about history and eunuchs being a big deal, and how eunuchs were all involved with the king's courts and stuff like that, I think that was just a period where everybody knew the truth about transvestigation.
Phoenix, what do you want me to wear for the hats off? It does have to fit with this stuff.
And now, you know why their favorite symbol, it's almost like one of their favorite symbols, the shh, the finger over the lips, shh, that they've all decided together that they're not going to talk about this. This is the elephant in the room. It's the cat that has now come out of the bag, is transvestigation. And it would be nice to be able to turn that off sometimes and then not have to see all the classes going on.
No, eunuchs aren't trans. Hans conflates transness, intersex, cross-dressing, drag, anything that's not strictly gender conforming to his mind is all sort of an amorphous blob of the same thing, if that makes sense. Of course, it doesn't make sense, it's not real, but in his simplistic black and white worldview, there are normal people, cis people, which he thinks there are very few of, and then he thinks there are inverts, which is anything that doesn't fall under his understanding of what should be quote-unquote normal.
I'll not have to be like, oh, that's one that really puts a lot of effort into it, even though they got a crazy skull going on and Joker mouth, and that one puts in the effort. Oh, that one over there is looking more like frumpy, but, you know, I just wish my mind didn't go there so much.
If there's so
But
few of them,
it's
how
not
can
the
they
kind
call themselves normal? Ah, see, you're understanding that from the perspective of the recognition that a lot of our categories are socially constructed. So you recognize that in a world, if there was a majority of people that were different, that would be the norm. Hans does not come from that. Hans comes from a mindset of there are objective hierarchies in reality that are the norm, and stepping outside them, no matter how normative it becomes, is still wrong and outside of what it should be. Therefore, to him, normal is not defined by what is normative, but what is prescribed by the hierarchical worldview he derives from his biblical creationist mindset. Those were words that meant things.
The thing that you can turn off. And
I don't know if he has coworkers. He's never really talked about them.
anyways, this is Glamour magazine. I was looking up. Oh, look, wearing dude clothing. Interesting. Giant shoulder pads. Head of her class.
Boy, wait until he hears about the entire 80s and early 90s. Shoulder pads were big, both literally and metaphorically. Casey Elworthy with a Canadian $5 super chat says, "Hi Hannah, love your show. I'm curious, has Cece ever said how he thinks time zones work on a flat earth? His video intro makes me wonder every time. I don't think I've heard him specifically say, but for other flat earthers, let me find something to depict this for you. I really want to get, oh, duh. Thank you, mousepad. So, on a flat earth, they think it works like a clock. They literally think it works like a clock. So they think that the sun is like a physical... Hold on. They think the sun is like a spotlight, like my phone light, and they think that it does this and kind of goes around. So they think that time zones work like the face of a clock, more or less. Now, this doesn't make sense based on what we actually see, of course, but that is their justification. Glad I have that mouse pad. That's helpful. Yeah, like a sundial, kinda, but like the sun's like a spotlight that they think is illuminating different parts of the world at different parts of the day.
The establishment.
Peep Lord says, the thing that gets me the most about Hans is that his voice sounds so normal. Peter and Jesse Lee Peterson have have their speech issues. I think you're maybe selectively picking out people who have unique speech patterns and then acting as though that's the norm. Most people we listen to on this stream have pretty normative speech patterns. I don't know. Cece has the affect of a New York lunatic. Mudfossil U sounds like a crazy old man. Hans, just some dude in line at the movies. I guess that's more a perception thing than anything else, though. You're probably noticing those things more. Everyone has eccentricities while they speak. You're just noticing it more when the things coming out of their mouths are batshit, right?
The Matrix, those in control, they will not.
The Matrix on the bingo card.
Put
borderline of free space at this point.
A natural woman on a pedestal of any kind, or say that they're beautiful. Martins are relentless.
Excuse you, I'll have you know these are 100% natural. You know how long I've had to take fucking pills for these things?
Talking about how fat normal women are. And they are relentless also in their blowing up the most huge-skulled, stick-skinny castrati. They will drool over them non-stop, and they'll be...
Okay, so it sounds like Hans likes them thick. Good news.
Married, but go on and on. Married to a natural woman, but then go on and on about how beautiful these dudes in the dresses are, rather. This is not feminine beauty at all. It really isn't. But this is where my strife, some inner strife, because something that you do notice is that you will notice, oh, that is a beautiful castrati. That person is. And it's very often not the bimboed out ones. I hate the bimbo look. It's total glamour magic. And it's setting an unattainable goal for natural women. That a natural woman could never reach that bimbo status.
Is Hans just like super duper porn brained? Like, am I nuts? It just sounds like he has a porn addiction, and he's, like, got weird categories in his head. Fennikagami with a link, or not with a link, had, some bits, said, I think you may be misunderstanding motivated reasoning. Hans definitely started believing this because it fulfilled a psychological need for him, but over time, sunk cost as well as an additional addiction to the thinking can serve as a reason itself. It's a bigger part of why, even after it's far more harmful to continue, people still do. That makes sense. I guess I'm kind of doing the same thing that flat earthers do when they're like, oh, why can birds fly if gravity? There could be multiple factors affecting at once. You could start with a psychological thing and then get into the thought patterns. That makes sense. It's a multifaceted problem.
But it's something that the castrati can do if they decide that that's, hey, I'm just going to be a bimbo. And that's how I'm going to...
That's what I said. I said, fuck it, I'm going to be a bimbo. That's what did it.
Get appeal by glamour magic. And it's really depressing because you see so much sickness, so much mental sickness in these people. They're very not mentally well people a lot of times. And I think so much of it comes from transvestigation. The fact that they're let in on these secrets, the fact that people are telling them all the time how sexy they are, even though they are disgusting a lot of times. And I would rather that every person could be beautiful of their own way, and that the lies that they say, you know, they like to say lies, oh, all shapes and sizes and everybody's beautiful. I would love for that to be true. But that's not it. They don't do that. They don't say everybody's beautiful. They say only castrati are beautiful. Natural women are tormented constantly for not being a man, And they've really created a sick system. And I know an Amazonian castrati who sometimes gets very emotional about, like, you know how so much effort gets put into sports and stuff. I've heard her lament over, man, if only people could get behind something with more impact than sports. You know, all these people waste all this energy getting hyped about sports and stuff. But when I hear complaining like that, it's like the whole house is on fire. You're complaining about one small aspect of sports. Okay, yeah.
Hans, you make multiple videos about how you think apes are fake. Are you really gonna come out of your glass house and start throwing stones about people wasting time worrying about non-issues? Chitara says, it sounds like he's saying, I wish I didn't care about this. The thing is, he doesn't have to. Even when I was a dumb, edgy teenager over a decade ago, I simply didn't care about other people's gender identity or sexuality. It cost me nothing to just not care about that sort of thing because it had no real bearing on my personal life. It would cost Hans nothing to just mind his own business if these transvestigation secrets bother him that much. Hydrate. I understand what you're saying, but I think Hans is incredibly paranoid. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that he has no fault in this. He certainly does. But also, he's clearly got something going on. I don't think you get this out there in your beliefs and not have reasons for it. Like, whether it's a psychological disorder, or it's some kind of trauma. Like, something is going on. I don't think you just become this. So I find it fascinating, these, like, thought patterns that people get. Like, I know what it's like to be delusional. Been there. So I find it really interesting seeing it and why people do it. How do people become delusional? What do they believe? What's the structure and shape of a delusion? I don't know. It's interesting.
People do put a lot of sports, but what about this whole system? What about the whole castrati thing and all of that? It's like you're missing. If people don't talk about transvestigation, I think they're missing like the biggest picture pretty much. And how are we going to fix this without dismantling this illusion that they've created? I don't think it's possible. And so many people are negatively, this was something that I was thinking of, but I didn't say it. How many castrati out there with, let's say, eating disorders, bulimia or anorexia, is caused by transvestigation because they think, if I starve myself, I'll be dainty.
Oh boy, he's actually touching on something real here, and that is trans people having eating disorders to try and fit into specific gender standards. That is absolutely a thing. Sad, and it's not necessarily specifically because of transvestigation the way he's speaking, but it does have to do with general beauty standards that apply to everyone, whether we like them to or not.
I'm almost certain on this, that natural women will get eating disorders because they're shamed for having a subcutaneous fat layer and having a naturally more fat on their body, because that's how women naturally are. So normal women...
A lot of this has to do with Hans apparently just liking thick women, which is great. I'm thick, I get it, right on. But, like, he is now trying to take away from women who aren't? Don't do that either. Like, you can't just be like, well, you're too skinny. No, that's the same fucking problem. Let people be. Let people be themselves. It's fine.
Very often will get eating disorders because they're shamed for their normal body. However, I believe that all sorts of castrati have these eating disorders because they know about skulls and bones, and they see how they're bulkier, and so they try to get so dainty. They try to starve themselves to try to be dainty, but really it just makes their skeletons pop out more. But this is where the magic comes in, that the world stage presents this third thing as feminine beauty is not castrati that look feminine. It's the most doodly looking castrati that glam themselves up. That is what gets portrayed as feminine on the world stage. And I think it really messes with these people. They're their whole life comes. I mean, how many people do you know that they will not leave the house unless they've spent like 2 hours putting on makeup? That's Transvestigation's fault, 100%, in my opinion.
Interesting.
I mean,
Interesting.
it's this illusion that they've created that they need to uphold that really destroys a lot of lives. Notice here the monarch. That is monarch print. The butterfly transformation is even talked about down here. Mary J. Bulge transformed her pain into the sound of an arrow. Gino Roquero. This is what gets portrayed as feminine. Anyways, what do you guys, how often are you at an event and you're like,
It's so hypocritical that he's like, stop shoehorning women into this one box, but then he's shoehorning women into a different box?
it'd be nice if I could turn off Transvestigation and not see everything that's going on here. Not see the Martins drooling over the most masculine person in the room, even who's wearing heels, even though they have a wife who is natural, whatever you want to say, the different type of woman. There's 4 types of people. If you're new to my channel, if you're new to this,
There are 4 types of people. No more, no less. 1 of 4. Take your pick.
if you've never watched my video, I have a video called
The 4 types, by the way, are cis man, trans woman, basically.
The Secret Explained Simpson.
Which that's not inclusive of, even if we were talking about, like, that doesn't include non-binary people. Like, we're not even talking about, like, they're intersex, like, people. Like, oh my god.
And I think that
yeah, his taxonomy is fucking ridiculous.
that video can change lives. It changed my life, the information in that video. Yes, it would be convenient to go back asleep sometimes, but life is so much better understanding.
Oh, what's a free martin? It's his word for, I think this comes out of the, like, dairy and, like, ranching industry, where, like, oh god. Basically, it's, oh, what the fuck? I knew this at one point. It was like a cow that came out, but was exposed to, like, the wrong hormones. I think it was basically an intersex thing specifically in cattle, but he uses it for human beings. Ah, there it is. Free martins are female cows with high male hormone levels. There you go. He's basically being really offensive and applying livestock terminology to human beings.
The truth. You can't handle the truth. There's a lot of people out there that aren't ready, that really can't handle the truth. Delusions are strong. Fake it till you make it. A lot of their minds get very messed up, I believe. It's very tragic. When your whole being, so you get taught at some age that you're different.
Oh, is that used in Brave New World? I didn't remember that. I mostly remembered the orgy at the end.
And then for the castrati,
I missed the point of that book.
Whole life starts to become about
I really want Soma.
Lip gloss and clothes that they're wearing. They're stunted boys. And it's like Peter Pan. They're these stunted boys that get told that they're going to be the most sexiest, attractive, desirable thing if they learn how to do their hair right and they get into makeup.
Is Hans under the impression that that would be appealing to a boy? Oh no.
Makeup and fashion and clothing. And it's really not.
Hans, you know that if most young boys were told, like, hey, come here and you... Oh no. Oh god. Oh no. Oh, hun. Oh, fuck. Hans, if you were like a little boy and you were told they're gonna make you a pretty princess, they're gonna make you the most beautiful woman, boys don't like that. A young boy would not find that appealing because they're a boy who don't want that. Oh. Yeah, that's a very strange eggy thing to say, to be honest.
Not good for them, I don't believe. My family, it's like
Like, I know when I was a kid, I was interested in any, like, situation where I could get dressed up as a girl, you know? Anytime that was available, I'd find myself in those situations and want to be, you know? Because it appealed to me. Because I'm trans! Conspiracy theorist tells on themselves? Yeah, I'll count that.
a walking pharmacy being around my family. Oh, you're feeling anxious? Here, I got something in my purse for you. They're not healthy individuals whatsoever. I think this is basically, I've already said enough. This is just a lamentation for what these clowns could have done besides putting on a clown freak show, convincing everybody that up is down, left is right, and that masculine is feminine, feminine is masculine. This is talked about in Isaiah. I'll read Isaiah first. Isaiah chapter 5 verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for...
Okay, I'm done. He's reading the Bible now. We get it. Well, that's interesting. Huh. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bingo card. There we go. Let's add the stuff. That's not how women work on the bingo card. The Matrix. Fennikagami with 50 bits says, hand as a man that was a little boy, I at no point wanted to be a pretty princess. In fact, in my teens, when I wore nail polish for a vampire Halloween costume, I got gender dysphoria and couldn't wait to get it off. Hans, you're an egg. We don't know Hans is an egg. We don't know that. I just want to point out it's not fair to call someone an egg. I don't think that's a very nice thing to do. But it was a little eggy, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I get it. That was a strange thing for him to say, I think. Conspiracy theorist tells on themselves. Does the reference to Free Martins from Brave New World count as forced sterilization? Fuck it, sure. Why not? Transphobia, transvestigation, of course. Psyop? Satanic. Vibes-based conspiracy. Accidentally based. Oh wait, no, we took that away because it turned out he was just sexist. Gay agenda. Flat Earth for Chris. The staggering levels of hypocrisy. Doesn't understand how cameras work for Chris's camera on the moon thing. And ancient wisdom. Oh, and forced feminization! Hell yeah, we got forced feminization. We haven't had that in a while. Agreed, Trey. Agreed. Oops, wrong button. There we go. What are next? That's not the wrong button. That's not the right button, rather. Can't even speak on wrong right. Oh. The airplane fuel conspiracies are so interesting, aren't they?
The engines of the airplanes.
Oh, Lilac Rosenberg says, good cosplay with a link.
So I just got back from the doctor's office and I...
Hold on. That's incorrect. Sorry. I'm still on 2 browsers today because things did not work correctly for me.
So I just got back from the doctor.
Let's get into the right one and then copy paste over here.
Ah, the
Why won't it copy paste that link? There we go. That should work now.
So I just got back from the doctor's office and I got some news that I feared. Some very concerning details that I would like to share with you today. Apparently the x-rays reveal that I got that dog in me and it can't be removed. Pray for me.
That'll happen sometimes.
using air as the fuel. So is it fuel or is it compressed air? Let's see. Let's see. Fuel in the wings. Oh man, those wings are so thin, so tiny and thin. Look at this. Let's see more stuff. Still think they aren't big enough to hold all the jet fuel they claim to. We have the 747 airplane wing and the full-grown person in the height. We compare. So where does the fuel go? According to the official narrative, let's make it. According to the official narrative, the Airbus A380 has a capacity for 120 tons of fuel in each wing, which makes it 240 tons of fuel in those tiny. Okay, I'm just trying to be funny. The Airbus A400M Atlas weighs 120 tons by the superior flight gods. And do you really believe the wings of the A380 could support the weight of two A400M Atlas? I like this. So they're showing you how much fuel goes into each wing in a normal Airbus A380. Then they're showing you a picture to understand that the weight of the Airbus A400 is 120 tons. So now we put the equivalent of fuel, so two A400M on each wing on a.
I mean, not literally that. It would be dispersed throughout the entire part of the wing that holds the fuel, and it's designed for that. So yes,
a non-typical aircraft.
That would be a thing.
Do you understand?
To be clear, he doesn't think that planes have fuel in them. He thinks planes use secret, free energy technology that doesn't exist. I'm sorry, I gotta use the bathroom real quick. Be right back. Sorry about that.
And of course you do. Of course you do, because this is logic and common sense. Now, let's see more stuff to open the mind. Electromagnetic short circuits right now. According to the Airbus A380 specifications, each wing can hold 38.5 thousand gallons of fuel. This jet refueler has a 10,000 gallon capacity.
Yeah, now put them next to each other so you can see how much bigger the plane is than that fuel truck.
By the gods of the fuel, so 4 times more than this. So we have to put 4 on each wing. That means 3.8 10,000 gallon refuelers on each wing. We put them, and then we fly. Because
not on them, they're in them. And it's not the entire truck, it's the volume of the tank of the truck. Again, it's like he thinks that the entire truck is inclusive in the weight of the fuel. Nope. Just the fuel, not the truck. The truck isn't in the wing, the fuel's in the wing, and the scale is completely off.
at the end of the day, it's the same capacity. It's just one is measured in the fuel and the tank. So we just put 4 tanks on each wing. And of course, the superpower of gravity on the spinning ball with curved water doesn't affect this, because when it's not... anyway. Nobody wants to speak about density. But we're not speaking about gravity on a spinning ball with curved water. We speak about... so many gallons of fuel in these wings. Yes. And then I have to pay money. A lot of money to fly. Oh man, this world. Let's see. According to the A380 specifications of the aircraft, each wing has a capacity of 38.5 thousand gallons of fuel.
Is there a logical fallacy called argument from bad Photoshop? No. It's a good new one, though.
Whose estimated weight is 116 tons. 120 tons. Who cares, right?
You move
It's
16 tons, and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt.
a lot of
Saint
tons.
Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I sold my soul to the company store.
What approximately 20 adult elephants weigh in each wing. So we have to put
All right, liquefy them. We can put those in the wings.
20 adult elephants by the gods of the elephants. This
By the gods of the elephants!
represents just half of the fuel they say is on board. So there we put that with the cars, right? Oh man. So in cars on each wing.
I
or
don't
in
think he understands weight distribution or how different the space occupation is between a solid object and liquid.
Elephants. Put 20 elephants on each wing. We can fly on the spinning ball, curved water with gravity. Airplanes fly on, oh man, compressed air. Compressed air. Free energy machine. Do you really believe each wing is holding one fuel tanker, which is 9,500 gallons, so almost 10,000 gallons, which is 64,000 pounds.
I'm glad I can torture Trey with this.
And the center part of the plane is holding 3 tankers worth of liquid jet fuel, question mark. It says here, so this is like fuel tanker, you can see the schematics. It's impossible for the wings to hold any liquid fuel, but 64,000...
Oh shit, another raid! KF Logan, thank you for the raid. How are you doing, raiders? I'm Hannah. I am a leftist variety streamer. Today we're doing Tinfoil Saturday, so we're looking at all sorts of weird conspiracy theories and conspiracy theorists and talking about what they believe, why they believe it, just having a good time playing bingo. If you want to play Tinfoil bingo with us, make sure you check out KF Logan's channel. Hope you had a great stream.
pounds is ridiculous to comprehend. 20 elephants, 4 fuel tankers, 10,000 gallons each. Look how thin, they're super thin the wings are, because they are designed for aerodynamics, not holding liquid fuel. Look at the size.
They can be designed for both. Would you believe it? Raiders, this gentleman doesn't believe that planes run on fuel. He believes they secretly run on free energy. They don't. It's fuel.
Of the tanks inside the fuel tanker compared to airplane wings. Compare the fuel tanker, super big, lots of fuel, with airplane wings. Don't you see a problem here? Of course I do, but I'm just showing you, compressed air. Have you seen the videos? I talked about the late 19th century and early 20th century compressed air motors for cars. So why not having a jet as well? The German technology, and not just the German technology, but also the other.
Is he aware that it takes energy to compress air?
Technology of.
Like, you don't just have, here's compressed air. How do you think they compress the air? Like, if you have an air compressor, it takes energy to run it, right? You know that, right?
Levitation, electromagnetics, and compressed air. So awesome. I've actually seen how this functions. It's public information to see how a jet functions, and they have these designs for the air to go inside the jet, and very like perfectly engineered for to be compressed, that air to be compressed and to move the whole airplane. Look at this. So the equivalent in your typical London, UK buses, right? On each wing, on Qantas. Look at how thin the wings are. By the gods of flight. And
you know how much of those buses are empty space? Again, you are comparing the volume of solid objects with a bunch of empty space to the weight of a liquid. Do you see why this doesn't make any sense?
Just put here all the trucks of fuel in each wing as well. Where where were 100 tons of fuel stored in the Concorde? Ah, the Concorde, which is not in production anymore. Ah, and the Concorde was flying on the spinning ball Earth-water curved in space with gravity. Not anymore, is it? Look at that. Look at it. These wings are even thinner than the wings of these civil aircraft. Ah, I love compressed air.
No, this isn't Hans.
Does this remind you of something?
Yeah, he's a flat earther.
If you go to India and you see many of the temples, the columns in those temples, and not just India, even in the Vatican in Rome. Ah, now you understand a bit more. Of course you do. Turbine, and spinning, and hey, it's just science, you know. It is science. We respect science, but I also look at this, Encyclopedia Britannica. Come on, you have to respect. You see how before things were shown. So this is the modern passenger jets with all of the parts, and the Encyclopedia Britannica. Look at it, it's even like the stuff here. 2014 Encyclopedia Britannica, and there's no they don't have fuel tanks. There's no fuel tank anyway.
Do you think it's more likely that they just didn't label the fuel tank, or that planes secretly don't require fuel and we have a secret magical way to produce infinite energy that goes against every law of physics that we understand? Probably the first one. Heaplord with 69-bit says, "Hey Raiders, just a reminder we can make Hannah say things like, 'Hi, my name is Hannah, and I turn malevolent souls into my work slaves.' Like Jabroni..." What did I name this fucking guy? Jabroni Horatio Pepperonis, the -3rd. They are my chair now. And Stone Corbell says, "Ah, now you understand," he said knowingly, knowing nothing.
Anywhere. Come on, it's the most important thing. If we don't have fuel, we cannot fly.
I'm 2 steps away from being one of those goddamn NPC streamers.
So when we just need a tiny bit of fuel to get into the air, and once we are in the air, compressed air. While the Earth spins in space with curved water. No, the engines. So which is your favorite? We have to understand. Don't you just like the turbines? Look at look at how thin. How thin. Of course they are thin. Can you actually believe like an airplane like this flies with something like this? Look at this. We put like 2 of these airplanes on each wing. Can you actually believe that you can be in the air flying? Or you put you put all these refuelers on each wing, and you go meow, and then Mr. Bean goes popcorn, and the elephants. We should do that. You know, I guess if you put 20 elephants or all these cars on the wing breaks. But I mean, if 20 elephants are the equivalent of the almost 120 tons of fuel on each wing, so that's 240 tons in the airplane. Which is, why don't they do an experiment putting 20 elephants on the airplanes to fly? I know.
The aerodynamics of that don't check out. Also, how you gonna strap the elephants up there? Fenikagami says, "What's wild is the real science seems like more magic to them than free energy does." Yeah?
No, I know.
The simpler answer makes more sense to them, and to them the simpler answer is magic.
We must live in a society, in a world where everything is usuri and debt and money, and we pay for the free energy, which is the energy from the sun and the air and electric and all that stuff. I love compressed air. It's so sad that when I go to the airport, besides asking the question, "Hello, I would like to go in a straight line over the ocean and see what continents we reach," Vibes of Cosmos maps, and say, "Haha, go away, we don't like you." I understand you don't like me, but do you like me if I show you these pictures? Say, "Go away, I don't like you because if I show this to my boss, I get fired." I understand. Well, lucky for you, showing photos of the reality of the real world is still allowed. Because this is just an airplane. I'm just showing you the airplanes and nothing else. See you in the next video, by the way. Oh.
He's doing great. Let's see what's next. Oh, this one's not good.
What's up, y'all? Jake here. And I thought I would make a video about O.J. Simpson's supposed death. Yeah, that's right, I said
Dead celebrity's actually alive on the bingo card. That guy's making you euphoric? Why? Jitara says, and the high priestess looked upon the congregation and said unto them, ice cream good. Ice cream so good. This was true, for the ice cream was indeed good. Book of Paul, NPCs 1:6.
Supposed death? Because when we're talking about actors and celebrities on the world stage, you can fake your death when you are an actor and a puppet on the world stage. In my research and experience, I've come across plenty of fake
Europhobic. That makes more sense.
deaths. So before I buy the story that the news is telling, let's just do a little deep dive into the background of O.J. Simpson. We have a college football star, Heisman Trophy winner, who then went on to become a NFL star running back, first man to rush for 2,000 yards.
I feel like we're really burying the lead here with all this football stuff. I know that's how he got famous, but like, is that what he's known for now?
And as we know, in America, the NFL is gigantic and football is gigantic. So he was a gigantic
I need my glasses. Don't tell me what to do. I don't need these.
Sports star. And then he started doing television commercials. And then after he did television commercials, that led to doing Hollywood movies. So he's a crossover sports star to Hollywood movie star. And we all know there's some weird stuff that goes on in Hollywood. So just having that background alone and being tied back to Hollywood means O.J. Simpson, before his murder trial ever happened, was an actor and a puppet on the world stage.
Oh, so every actor and actress is a puppet? Okay.
Now, the thing that he is most...
That part of SAG or what? You have to take an oath to, like, Satan?
Famous for. The thing that got him the most attention and made him a household name is the fake murder.
To be fair, the football stuff is a large part of why he got away with the murder. Well, I think he can thank Mark Furman for a lot of that. Let's not gloss over the Furman shit, okay? Not to mention the LAPD's terrible fucking reputation. Like, there's a lot of factors going on there.
Trial and the fake murders. It is my opinion that the whole OJ trial was a made-for-TV movie.
Well, that's a really shitty thing to think. That's not true. 2 people actually were murdered, probably by O.J. Simpson. He's dead now, I'm gonna say that. Probably murdered by O.J. Simpson, and he got away with it. So that sucks.
Meaning, I don't think O.J. Simpson killed anyone. And
I think this is the only person on the planet that actually thinks O.J. didn't do it. I think we found the one guy.
I don't think Nicole or Ron Goldman died. That's right, I don't think anyone died because it was a made-for-TV movie.
What an asshole.
So if you were alive at the time, then you probably remember that very
LAPD, but yes, Profane Priestess for sure.
Bronco chase when the juice was running loose in the white Bronco very slowly, and the police were chasing after him very slowly and carefully. I was just a young kid when this trial happened, but I remember that there was a lot of racial tension at the time between black people and white people over this trial. Feelings were very much divided over the outcome of this trial. And looking back now, it makes perfect sense. This whole trial was a psychological operation.
PSYOP on the bingo card.
And it was designed to divide black people and white people, create
putting the cart before the horse. He's assuming that racial tension and issues with the LAPD didn't exist prior to the trial. Conspiracy theorists do this all the time. They'll flip the causality. The O.J. Simpson trial was a huge deal in part because it was emblematic and stoked already existing social issues. It didn't create them. It brought them to the surface. It made it a discussion of, like, everyone all at once. It's weird that he thinks that that's how this works, that it's all a top-down puppeteering situation. No, not a false flag.
Racial tension.
PSYOP.
Because at the time, if you were a white person, you thought for sure he was guilty, and you wanted him to be found guilty. And
I feel like almost everyone virtually thinks he was guilty, right? Like, I feel like the point was not whether or not he was actually guilty, it was whether or not you thought he should be found guilty because the LAPD is fucked up and it's almost a revenge acquittal. You know what I mean? I didn't get the impression that people were not thinking he did it. It was more just a, fuck this, fuck the LAPD, fuck the whole situation.
Were people who wanted him to be sentenced to death if he was found guilty, or at the very least, spend the rest of his life in jail. And then on the other end, there were black people hoping that he was going to be found not guilty. Whether or not they thought...
H-Beard says, I'm old enough to remember that I was really annoyed that my afternoon cartoons were preempted to watch OJ and the Bronco during the incredibly long and slow chase.
He did it...
I just wanted to watch the adventures of the gummy bears. What the fuck is this?
Or not. So I remember when
Gummy bears, something, something, and everywhere. We are the gummy bears.
He was found...
We are the gummy bears.
...to be not guilty. When the verdict came out, I remember white people all pretty much thought the same thing, that he did it and got away with it. And black people, they were happy about the outcome of him being found not guilty. Whether they thought deep down inside whether he did it or not, they were still happy that he was found not guilty.
The only thing worse was when Bush interrupted Saturday morning. But how else would you know that there's a million wild and wonderful ways to say no?
So it created this very interesting divide between black people and white people. And I believe this made-for-TV movie was meant to do exactly that. Even today, that made-for-TV movie...
Kanekagami says there were also a ton of chuds who wanted him to get off for hating, quote, cheating women reasons. Well, wait, no, they were... he and her were divorced, though. She wasn't cheating, right? They were separated. What? Chromatic Kettlefish, thanks for a 3-stream streak, says Happy Star Wars Day, waves tentacles.
Movie is still being replayed. People are still talking about it. And now that O.J. Simpson has supposedly died, people are reliving the memory of that old trial, and it is now relevant again. They can create new racial tension because you might be happy that O.J. Simpson is dead because you think that he did those crimes that he was accused of.
I don't know if I'm happy he's dead. He is dead. It is what it is.
So
I'm not gonna unmurder people just because he's dead.
I take the position that I don't think OJ killed anyone because the whole thing is a made-for-TV movie and he's an actor and puppet on the world stage. So I'm not going to let them play with my emotions. And at the same time, I'm not going to fall for any sort of guardrail conspiracy theory bait. And what I mean by that is people talking about, well, OJ took the jib jab, so that's why he died. No. These are actors and puppets on the world stage, which means...
It is interesting when the conspiracy theorists conflict with what conspiracy they think is behind the current thing. I had heard that. I had heard some anti-vax people try and blame the vaccine on O.J. Simpson's death, even though I think O.J. Simpson was, like, 69 or 70 or something. Like, he's old.
And fake their death. And so when we're talking about...
Penikagami says, you are correct. They were divorced, but to a chud, divorce doesn't matter. The woman, quote, belongs to you forever. Heck, that was like part of O.J. Simpson's motive. I guess that's true.
Actors on the world stage.
Thought he died of cancer. 76, thank you.
They can be repurposed into other roles after they fake die, after their character is dead.
I believe he did die of cancer, but you should know that anti-vax people think that vaccines give you something called super cancer or hyper cancer. So just so you know, that's a thing they believe. Not true.
They can be turned into a different role, or perhaps they get to retire in some cases and
turbo cancer. Thank you. That's what they call it. Turbo cancer.
Their life on
it's some absurd adjective and then cancer. It's like comical, the adjective they use.
Secluded celebrity island. I really can't tell you what happens to celebrities after they fake die, but I'm 100% positive that there have been many celebrities that have faked their death. So in my opinion,
is dead.
I think
get over it.
O.J. Simpson is alive.
Pretty sure he was dead before I was alive.
He never killed anyone. And
I'm the reincarnation of Tupac. Surprise. Went a little different with it this lifetime.
It was all just a big...
Stone Garbell says, turbo cancer, it's impossible to parody conspiracy theorists. They are self-parody. Unfortunately.
Made-for-TV movie. So there you go. So anyone running with these guardrail conspiracy theories, before you take the bait about the jib-jab, let me just point out...
He died in 96. Damn. Peep Lord says, turbo cancer, thunder, Zord power.
To you, that you did not witness O.J. Simpson take anything, ever. And you can't prove, doing any sort of test, that he took something and then died because of what he took. So, before you make any sort of assumption, just remember, he's an actor and puppet on the world stage, and celebrities have been known to fake their deaths. Now, these are all just my opinions.
I always love when the conspiracy theorists just say the stupidest shit ever and then say it's their opinion, like people are gonna get offended, when really it's just like, this is just dumb. This is just really silly.
And all of my content, including this video, is created for entertainment purposes only. So...
I wasn't entertained, so you lose. Good day. Moving on. This goddamn guy.
There's one simple tooth repair hack anyone can...
Oh god, the Rumble ads are so scammy. Or the BitChute ads. How do I play this? It's just taking me to the thing. Play it. God damn it.
If you have sciatic nerve pain, do not drink cold water. Do you know what the #1 vitamin at Walmart is?
Oh, shut up.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Richie from Boston. It is the 3rd of May, 2024, and it has been a while since I've uploaded a video because I've been having some problems, some issues of my own. I was off grid for a bit and just having a few health issues, so I wanted to go out into the nature and get away from everything, and I did. But something that was bothering me really bad is while I was out in the middle of absolutely nowhere, I saw a lot of objects coming down from the sky, coming way down from the sky. These weren't shooting stars. These weren't, I don't know what they were, but there was a lot of them, and it wasn't a meteor shower.
If you don't know what it was, how do you know what it wasn't?
And with what I want to talk about, I want to first remind you of this video that I made back in 2017. I want you to remember this, because a lot of people are bringing up the Gothard Tunnel and CERN, and some bigger YouTubers, the ones that, you know, never get taken down, have been talking about it, saying that CERN had nothing to do with the Gothard Tunnel. Well, that's not accurate, and I want you to remember what the Gothard Tunnel thing looked like. So I'm going to take a few minutes. This is you need to see this. So watch this or don't.
Jesus Christ. Normalize your audio, douche.
Remember when this came out last year in June, and all of us jumped all over this enormous ritual for the opening of a tunnel completed.
I'm gonna say it looks like a flash mob.
On the other side.
Peep Lord says, I don't know what is raining down upon me, but I know it wasn't hundreds of succulent Chinese meals. We're enjoying a meal, a succulent Chinese meal. This is democracy manifest
of the planet. This was a Department of Public.
Oh, thank you for the $3 tip. Eggs and Ham says, Hannah, where is your costume month tracker at? I want to add it for next month. You know, I don't have one for next month. Is this a thing? Do people want me to keep costume month goals going? Or go back to costume day? I guess I haven't even thought about it. I was just so focused on wearing 30 days of costumes.
Works project. And on the surface, no pun intended, it appears that this tunnel might be way more than we ever possibly thought it was. It's incredibly close to CERN. It is loaded. I mean, it is just an absolute enormous.
This is like a party, it seems like they're having for the opening, and they had performers come. That's not sinister.
A satanic festival.
Am I looking for a Finster situation? Nah, I already got boobs. I'm already on HRT. No, I don't want to live the rest of my life in costumes.
Well, soup to nuts, all over the place. No two ways about it. You've got bare-breasted angels flying around. You have little monsters everywhere. You have
I'm not a cat girl.
Falling to
not
their
even
deaths.
close to the
you
animal
have
I
holy
am.
Spirits rising out of the ground. You have CERN. You have 9/11. You have people
9/11 out of nowhere on the bingo card.
Fighting with their demons. You have people wearing veils. You have people playing ancient harmonics as a portal on the screen opens. Now,
you want the possibility to create costume eternity? I guess I can turn on. I'll do a costume goal again. Maybe it'll be costume month again. I don't know.
I know everybody's tired of this. We've already moved on. This is all down the memory hole. But the reason I keep bringing the Gothard Tunnel ritual up is because this was more than meets the eye, even though you're looking at what you're looking at. This was a declaration
more than meets the eye.
From the elite, the hidden hand, the Illuminati, the Satanist, whatever you want to call the people that control this.
Illuminati on the bingo card. We already had Satanism.
Mortal.
The Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. Sorry, once the Transformers song gets stuck in my head, I gotta sing that part. It's the best part. If I don't, it'll be stuck in my head forever.
Coil that we find ourselves on. This was a declaration by them to us that they are indeed going to open the pit and release the demons, the fallen angels, the Nephilim. They're going to release them into our physical world. They're going to tear the veil, and they showed that in more than one way. For instance, all these people walking in unison under a veil, and then they tear off the veil, and who shows up? Satan, Lucifer, the goat-headed one, and then he impregnates somebody. Meanwhile, a bunch of
Fennikigami says, it's okay, Hannah, your real fans know you're a scaly.
Switzerland people.
I do need lotion.
People play.
Aliens are demons? Yeah. Aliens are demons on the bingo card.
Old harmonic devices, because everything is frequency, everything is harmony. That's exactly what CERN does, and I believe that
There's
this
that frequency thing again. They keep bringing it up.
Is going to be where the D-wave sits, where the portal opens, where the veil will be torn. And the reason I'm bringing all of this up is because I found this completely and totally by happenstance. Let me show
Everything is frequency. Frequency of what? Vibrations, obviously.
The name of this website.
The frequency of the vibrations.
Well, it's nothing more than Evil Limited. Exactly.
I'm telling ya. It's because of my my arch nemesis, Michio Kaku. It's fucking Kaku! Peep Lord says chafing in the lizard flesh pockets. I didn't like saying that.
Yes, the name of their website is Evil, and it's trademarked, it's copywritten. Electronic Virtual Intelligent Life, trademark. Our mission is to accelerate the evolution of fully autonomic intelligent. Autonomic is, it's not automatic.
I don't think you can have evil as a registered trademark. That is way too general of a name. Also, in the top corner, you guys can't see this, but this website has a thing called alt censored. So, what the fuck?
Your lungs. It's like your kidney. It's like your brain. It's things that don't even have to think.
I think he's falling for a fake website that, like, other conspiracy theorists made, and he thinks it's evidence of his conspiracies being true. That's a shame. What else we got? We're probably going to end a little early today. I slept really bad last night. I've been having a lot of stomach problems, so we'll probably wrap up a little early today. I apologize for that. But I am really, really exhausted. I didn't really get to sleep much. What's the next thing? This one looks interesting.
To learn more about this extraordinary civilization. There are numerous claims in mythologies and folklore from around the world that speak of massive...
Nah, I'm probably backing off Evil Gina unless she has a rebound to doing better. She's been acting very, like, manic lately, and it just, I don't feel comfortable showing those videos.
Inhabited portions.
Like, she's clearly having an even bigger break from reality than she typically is, and it's exploitative, so I'm not showing those videos.
Inside of the Earth's crust.
I try to be careful about that. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I do try and pick people who are still there and present. They're wrong. Conspiracy theorists are wrong, generally, but I don't want to exploit, like, people suffering from severe mental illness and having an episode. Like, that's fucked up.
Several alleged maps which purport to disclose the location of entrances to these subterranean worlds below our feet.
That's true, Dillis Filler.
Before we get to them, I'd first like to present some of the inner Earth stories which help illustrate what is postulated by some to exist in these massive underground caverns, alluded to in myths and legends.
So we're doing Journey to the Center of the Earth? Cool.
The Smoky God, or A Voyage to the Inner Earth, is a book written in 1908, presented as a true account of a Norwegian sailor who sailed with his father.
Plenty of books are presented as true accounts, but are clearly fiction. Dracula's a good example. It's written in multiple journal entries and, like, different people's accounts. Never claims to be nonfiction, though.
Through an entrance to the Earth's interior at the North Pole.
Dracula's basically a found footage book, but it's found journals. World War Z, another good example of that kind of thing.
The story opens with Olaf Jansen reminiscing about his childhood in the coastal village of Tonsberg, Norway, and his father's lifelong fascination with the unexplored regions of the Arctic. Determined to uncover the mysteries hidden beneath the icy surface, they set sail from Stockholm on their modest fishing vessel. They navigate through treacherous waters, battling fierce storms and freezing temperatures, and after days of sailing, Olaf and his father encounter an unexpected phenomenon, a thick fog known as the Smoky God enveloping the North Pole. Intrigued by this mysterious occurrence, they navigate through the mist until they discover a peculiar opening leading into the Earth's interior. Without hesitation,
how would you sail into the Earth's interior?
They venture into the unknown.
Like, literally, it would be down. So do you, like, fall into, like, a whirlpool? Like, I'm trying to think about this from a book point of view. What do? I'd probably have you go into a whirlpool. Probably cliche, but fuck it.
Unravel the secrets that lie beneath the surface. Upon
a series of locks? That would do it. The Earth-a-sea hole? God damn it.
Entering the inner Earth, Olaf and his father
uses AI on the bingo card.
Are immediately struck by the breathtaking landscapes that unfold before them.
Oh, this is gonna make me vomit with the perspective. It's like the whole everything is writhing. Could have sworn I didn't take mushrooms before this.
Towering mountains rise majestically on the horizon, their peaks glistening in the ethereal light that emanates from the bioluminescent, glittering lichen-filled caverns. Lush forests carpet the valleys below, teeming with vibrant flora and fauna unlike anything found on the surface. As they explore further, they're filled with a sense of wonder and awe at the sheer beauty of this hidden world. As Olaf and his father journey deeper into the subterranean world, they encounter a diverse array of plant life that thrives in the underground environment. Glowing mushrooms and plants with iridescent leaves sway gently, their
Iridescent or bioluminescent?
branches
Because those are two different things.
adorned with exotic flowers that emit a soft, soothing glow.
What's wrong with us? A lot. Our entire brains run on meat. We're just meat. We're just gross meat that thinks, and we don't think very well.
Moss-covered rocks and crystal-clear
No, fungi are their own thing.
streams dot the landscape, creating a harmonious tapestry of colors and textures. Majestic birds with wings spanning vast distances soar gracefully overhead. Their melodic songs fill the air with enchanting melodies. Colorful butterflies flutter amidst the flowers and glowing fungus, while gentle woodland creatures and even reptiles roam freely through the forests. Everywhere they turn, they're greeted by the wonders of nature in all its splendor. In addition to the breathtaking landscapes, Olaf and his father also stumble upon ancient artifacts and ruins left behind by a civilization long forgotten. Intricate carvings adorn the walls of underground caverns, depicting scenes of life and culture from a bygone era. Mysterious symbols and inscriptions
Are you gonna actually talk about this, or just tell us what happened in the book?
with a blue-eyed
Oh, blue-eyed, obviously.
received from the inhabitants of the inner earth.
I can't just I'm already tired. This guy's gonna put me to sleep. Let's do this space video that's like a flat earther who doesn't believe in space, and then maybe we'll call it a night. Again, sorry for the shorter stream today. I am just very, very tired.
Space Bloopers, Episode 1. First up, we've got this short clip from a Russian astronaut supposedly on board the International Space Station, looking through the window.
Order you some pizza before you go? I was going to ask you to order me pizza.
Filming.
Yes, giants from that video.
Elon Musk's space.
The space guy could say sky is fake. If so, bingo.
SpaceX Dragon.
Let's see.
As it attempts to dock with the space station. The problem is, just like we've seen in the past, we get layering issues here, as the Dragon capsule and the satellite dish.
Oh, thank you for another $3 tip, says Hannah. When we watch this, I wish it was real. I wish the world was this awesome fantasy, but instead working taxes. You know, I'd recommend a good book or a movie. You know, there's a lot of fun fantasy escapism things you can do without going crazy. Pizza does sound good.
Appear to come inside.
Depraved ambiance with a link. Oh, Demi Bird had it first, though. Let's take a look. Aliens or demons, sky. We didn't technically have sky is fake yet. Let's look at depraved ambiance. Your thing doesn't want a thing, but let me copy paste. Check this one out. Yeah, the link is not wanting to work for some reason. Let's try this again. There we go. Giants, flat earth, dead celebrities actually alive, vibes-based conspiracy, doesn't understand how cameras work. You got it. Sorry, Demi Bird, you were close, but we didn't quite have fake sky yet. So depraved ambiance wins. Let me write down your name. Oh, I gotta actually physically write it down. I'm on a new computer. I don't have that file anymore. I'll have to find where I transferred that. Let's see. Depraved ambiance. Look at that. I actually wrote it down in handwriting. Yeah, Cece did fail you. I'm sorry. It's a shame.
Inside the window and
So that is our winner for the day. Congrats.
the window seal at points. Showing me a blurred image isn't a debunk, lads. You need to recreate the scene in the manner in which we're seeing. This is an obvious layering issue. We'll watch it twice on loop.
What are we supposed to be seeing that's fucked up? It's exerting thrust through its, I forget what they're called. The things that aren't the actual boosters, but are the things for orienting the craft. That's what that, like, stuff coming off is.
It's the old space shuttle.
Thrusters, thank you.
International Space Station one from back in the day where the International Space Station came in past the window sill of the space shuttle. We'll have a look at that one another day.
I don't even know what we're supposed to be seeing here that's, like,
Next
sus.
up, we've got this now infamous clip, which I originally highlighted years ago on my old channel. And of course, what I highlighted here is obvious for all to see. This is supposed to be the space shuttle, docked to the International Space Station, filmed from the Soyuz rocket as it departs.
Okay.
But when our friend here zooms in, essentially all he's doing is zooming in on one model, docked to another model. Look. The space station is bad enough, but look at the space shuttle.
What of it?
The Canadarm, the backs of the actual...
This is just incredulity. This isn't even any sort of evidence. He's just like, look at it. You can tell because of the way it is. No, it looks like the space shuttle.
Space shuttle, the wings. Look at it, the inside of the cargo bay. It'll come back round.
I missed that, Nemesaur.
Terrible. Even space fans I've shown this to admit this is a model. But bizarrely enough,
I don't understand why he thinks it's a model.
Will choose to believe in this, Tosh. It's crazy. Shows you how deep this spellcraft works. Blatant model docked to another model. Now, this is a great clip, but I'd never seen this one before till the other day. Saw it on Taboo's channel, which originally came from the Zetetic Truth channel. Link in the description to both those guys. And most will be aware that these part of the deception here is these guys interact with augmented reality things that aren't actually there, but they're there presented to us, layered in, that these people watch on screens to see what they're interacting with, to fool us, or naive people I should say, into thinking they're in this environment hurtling around a ball. But quite often things go wrong. The interaction with the augmented item, or whatever it is, in this instance the water.
Photographs in space often look odd because of the lack of haze to give depth cues and the sharp edge shadows in a vacuum. Oh, there's no chiaroscuro! Because there's no... Yeah, that makes sense. That's not something I would have, like, picked up on. But that makes sense.
Kind of gives the game away, as we're about to see. Again, it's on loop. Just watch the water's interaction with the bat. This would never, ever happen if this scene was real. This could only ever happen if you're having a special effects issue, just like we're seeing here.
They're semi-translucent. You can see through them. That's what you're seeing there, sir. Very strange. I know he has to, like, do this because this is devastating to his case. Like, you could only do this in microgravity. Or if you were on the Vomit Comet, which simulates microgravity. So I guess I get why he says it's fake from a consequence point of view, but not from an evidence point of view. He's basically just doing, it's devastating to my case.
Ridiculous, lads.
Are you gonna...
Bearing in mind, the globe
What
is
is...
impossible. We can test and verify that for ourselves.
Nope.
All the globe believers are left with is looking away from the Earth and making huge assumptions about what they see in the sky at the expense of dropping every single demonstration we can test and verify for ourselves. Their assumptions they have regarding the things they look in the sky have no practicality to back it up anyway. You see what insane logic you're dealing with there, just based on space performances here that baffle and bewilder these people? But then when you look at the space stuff, it's just mockery, as I've said for many years. Here we've got Canadian national hero and legend Chris Hadfield on our right in the red top here, being exposed by his own harness. His body language and the way he acts prior to exposing his harness attachments on his back kind of gives the game away anyway. But then when he bends over, you see 2 points protruding on Chris's lower back, highlighting
It's him wired up for the microphones, probably.
the attachment points of his harness at play here. I believe NASA used several different types of harnesses with different attachment points to do various different circus tricks.
I like that he says that with no evidence because NASA isn't using rigs for these because they're actually in space. But he's so confident about, like, yeah, they use different rigs for different things. Out of his ass. Just pulling this directly out of the depths of his butthole.
Depending on what they're doing that day. And Chris is going to show us one of them. Chris?
So that's what inspired me, that particular book. After that, I read lots and lots more that just inspired me further, but that was really the one that set it all off.
Oops.
Not a whoops. I don't
Just
understand
gonna
what he
come
thinks the
back.
whoops is.
Turn the volume down a smidge, because I'm going to slow it down so it doesn't get too psychedelic.
Is it because part of his shirt is still up?
And just watch Chris
He's in
Hadfield get
space.
exposed
He's
by
in
his harness
microgravity.
in slow
How do you think
motion
his
here.
shirt is gonna go down?
Bending down. And there rise up the 2 protrusion points.
That's literally just like his shirt because he's moving downward, and because of how momentum works, there's no gravity or microgravity, so the bottom of his shirt is like up. I don't know if he's also wearing like a pack or something for some reason. He could be, he could not be. But it's not a harness. This isn't what harnesses look like.
Highlighting the attachment points of Chris is attached his harness.
Does he think they're attached through the shirt? How does he think harnesses work?
This man is supposed to be a hero, but in the real world, he's actually a villain. In this final clip, we get to see a different type of harness attachment point used. We're seeing Chris Hadfield's one at lower back where there was 2 points protruding. Like I've previously stated, that I believe they use various different attachments and harnesses for various different circus tricks. In this instance, we get to see the attachment point of this astronaut in the reflection of a tablet in the background there. It's like a white, almost looks like an old phone handset from back in the 80s. But a
Deep Lord says, Hannah, you're investigating this all wrong. He's saying this is a nefarious plot because if you look closely enough, you hit your face on the screen and you have to clean it off. Big Windex is behind NASA.
cream sort of white coloured one. Just going to pause it back, just bring it back a smidge. You want to be looking at the tablet here, hung up on the wall behind him.
Okay.
The reflection of that. Here it comes. See it? Almost like an old telephone, but it's an attachment point on the astronaut's back there.
What?
I'm just bringing the bar back and forth there, showing
I don't
you the
know
reflection.
specifically what that's reflecting, but for you to confidently claim you think it's some sort of cable for holding them up is kind of illustrative of how little evidence you have.
I'll come out. Now you know where it is. You can just watch him be lowered down. And that attachment point, that thing in the reflection, is synced perfectly with him. Highlighting, like I just stated just now. These guys use various different harnesses and attachment points for various different circus tricks to fool people into believing they're in
Can I
this
be an astronaut
certain
then?
environment, which involves them hurtling round a ball, doing ludicrous speeds in the space station. We wouldn't get so many bloopers if that was the case, lads. And if that was the case, you'd have some practicality to back your base claims. You don't. All we're left with is stargazing
How does he
fantasy.
explain her hair? I'm not joking. The way that I have heard them explain it is hairspray. Hairspray. You can tell it's coming from people who've never had long hair in their lives if they think hairspray can do that. or any of the things you see with people with long hair in space.
He's looking away from the Earth and space. The stargazing fantasies have no practicality and they're just based on assumptions. And then when you look at space, it's a blooper fest. Have a good one, everyone.
Well, that's fun. Thanks, everyone. We're going to end a little early today. I'm really sorry. Like I said, I'm just not feeling great. But I will be back tomorrow, and I will make sure to get a really good night's rest tonight and be back tomorrow for a full stream where I am not exhausted and I am more entertaining. At least we had the boob window today. That was probably good in the moments where I wasn't on the ball, so to speak. Some sort of entertainment value. Anyway, let's do a raid. How about thanks, Internet? Sounds good. Alright, have a great night, everyone. Love you, Mr. Blast. I will see you all tomorrow. I'm not sure what we'll be doing. It's been a while since Chud Watch, and I do think there was some stuff I wanted to watch for that. Mike Lindell got confronted. It was pretty interesting, so we might do that, along with some other stuff. Maybe check in on Trump. It's been a while. Alright, have a great night, everyone. See you later.